instead of participating in PE with the Best Buddies kids today, you guys are going to be reading an article about the benefits of mainstreaming students with autism. So, do you guys know what autism is?
No.
No? Not at all? Okay. There's a couple kids in our class who have autism, so hopefully you'll understand a little bit more about them after reading this, okay? One strategy that we're going to focus on today is the author's point of view and how that might shape the way you think about things, okay? So first, we got special permission from the administration for you guys to have your phones with you today. So you guys all have your phones for purposes of looking things up? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what I want you guys to do, you two, I'm going to have you look up what first person point of view is. And then since there's 3 of you in a group, I want you 3 to look up what second and third person point of view is. Okay, so you could probably just type that into your Safari and figure out what it is. If you need to make a note on your phone, that's fine. Yeah, if you need to move around the room, that's fine. I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to get this done. If you need help, let me know. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Second and third.
Is someone telling her story?
All right.
Sure.
The second person. You. Second person. Third person is he, she, they.
And you don't necessarily have to come up with the definition of what it is, but if there's some key words or signs of what words to look for first, second, and third, you can go ahead and write those up there. That one doesn't work here. I think let's try this red one. Let's see if this works.
There you go, Austin.
Okay. All right. Looks good. So, looking at what you guys discovered, looks like first person is, go ahead, Brandy, if you want to read that.
Someone telling you his or her story.
Okay, so someone telling you his or her story. What sort of words would you use? Think about different pronouns that you would use.
I, me, mine.
Good. Let's go ahead. I'm going to add that up here. Okay.
I, me, and mine.
Okay. So those would be words that you're going to look for if it's from first person point of view. Okay. I went for a walk this morning. I did this. What kinds of writing would you think that you would be reading to hear a first person point of view? Something about yourself. What's something common that people write? A journal. Good. Yeah, so if you guys write in a journal, or maybe when you were little, if you had a diary or something, you would probably write a story like that. Or think about a long time ago, people would write letters to each other, probably telling a story hey, this is what I did. Even in your text messages to each other, saying I this, I that, my day was like this. Okay, good. So that's first person point of view. Second person, you guys wrote you. So this one is actually pretty rare. Okay, does anybody have an example of what this could be? No clue? No clue at all? Okay, I'm gonna give you guys 2 more minutes. Look up again on your phone. Maybe try and find an example of what a second person narrated story would be. or anything that would be second person? When you have an idea or you find it, just raise your hand. All right, Sierra.
Like plays and stuff where a narrator is telling a story.
Okay.
How-to writing.
How to, yeah, good. So anything that's like directions, maybe a manual, or step-by-step instructions. Are any of you guys, or like, have you been in a speech class before? Not yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I know the speech teacher, she does like how-to speeches. So it'd be like, first you do this, second you do this. Okay, good. And third person. Okay, keywords for that are he, she, it, or they. So a third person narration would be like what? What would be an example?
She went to the store.
She went to the store, that would be a good example. A story, yeah. A lot of stories, novels, books that you read, stuff you might check out from the school library are written from a third person point of view. Okay. I'm going to give you guys the article. Yep, you're welcome. Here you go. Okay, you're welcome. All right. I'm going to start reading a little bit. And I want you guys to think, if you have a pen with you, I think Trey, you've got one. Anybody else need one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pencil, pen. All right, as I start reading, I want you guys to underline or make some sort of a mark where you might be able to tell what point of view this is written in, okay? Okay. This title of this is called Mainstreaming Benefits Autistic Students, okay? I'm going to start down there where it says the fear factor. The part at the top is just kind of a summary, almost. Actually, I'll start kind of in the middle there. Okay, halfway through the morning lesson, 7-year-old Dan starts screeching, pressing his hands tightly over his ears, and rocking violently forward and back in his chair. Some students don't seem to notice, but it's sensory overload for others who get distracted or simply shut down. They are in a special education classroom for autistic children at Henry B. Milnes School in Fair Lawn, New Jersey. But despite their developmental and behavioral challenges, many of them, including Dan, will eventually be mainstreamed, spending part or even most of the day in general education classrooms. It's estimated that 1 in 150 children in the U.S. have autism. There's no cure, but with early diagnosis and the hard work of dedicated educators, many autistic kids will grow up to live independently and even make extraordinary contributions to society. A big factor for their future success, say the experts, is being educated in regular classes where they can learn to interact with their peers and to control or modify their behaviors. All right, Brandy, why don't you read a couple sentences for the next little bit?
But transitions are difficult for children with autism, and sometimes inclusion is tough on teachers too. No matter how great their desire to help, some teachers see a student like Dan and fear that they won't be able to handle teaching an autistic child along the rest of their students. The fear factor is a big roadblock for general education teachers, says Julie Moore, a middle school teacher and a member of the NEA, National Education Association, IDEA research.
Okay. All right, let's stop right there and think for a minute. Okay, how many of you guys were able to underline something, some clue that told you what point of view this is written in? Okay, all of you. Trey, what words, don't tell me what point of view yet, but just tell me what words you underline, maybe one or two.
His and there.
His and their. Okay, Hayden, what did you underline?
There's chair.
Same thing. Austin, what did you underline?
Basically the same
Same thing. Sierra, anything different? Same thing? Okay. Yeah, so what then, where would that fall? First, second, or third?
thing.
Third, okay. Good. As we said before, second person is like a manual or instructions. First person, someone telling their own story. So third person, which is what this is written to, what do you think the purpose of this is?
inform.
To inform you, yeah, so some sort of like informational text too. Okay, good. Alright, also with thinking about point of view, let's think about that in terms of how the author feels about a certain topic. Okay, so not only the point of view it's written in, but think about your point of view as you are debating a topic, okay? Is there any way that you can tell yet how the author feels about this subject without looking at the title? Should we read a little bit more? Let's read a little bit more, okay? All right, Sierra, why don't you read the next like two little paragraphs there.
Moore spent much of the last 2 decades teaching in special ed classrooms. When in conclusion, movement took hold. She saw nervous and unprepared general education teachers in need of support. That's when she began leading a 6-hour autism workshop for Washington teachers based on the Puzzle of Autism, a resource guide created by NEA and the Autism Society of America. The best advice is to keep a sense of humor and don't be afraid to try new things, says Moore. And of course, the paraprofessionals are always there to assist you. Once a child is mainstreamed, we don't cut the supports.
Okay, Trey, read that last little bit, please.
She also sets successful in-conclusion programs to prepare everyone for the transition, not only the autistic child, but also the educator. And the process begins long before the child flies from the special education nest.
Okay. So what do you think the author's opinion is on this topic? Should children with autism be in mainstream classrooms, or should they not? What do you think their opinion is so far?
I think that's just something they should be.
Okay, that's what the author's saying. Okay. I want you to take just a couple minutes. If you want to get back in your little groups, that's fine. But I want you to underline different sections of just the little, those 3 paragraphs that you just read that give you clues. So like words that would suggest that that's how the author feels. Does that make sense? Okay. You guys want to get, yeah, you can get back together if you want.
I think that when they say, and of course the paraprofessionals are always there to assist you, it seems to use the word we don't put those words.
Okay, I hear some good things kind of going around. I'll have my group over here. What's something that you found that would lead you to believe that the author is in favor of having kids with autism mainstreamed?
It states that she says successful inclusion programs prepare everyone for the transition, so the transition into mainstream classes.
Okay, so already talking about like needing to make that transition and preparing people. Okay, good. And then girls, I heard you say something really good, and it's a good way to kind of infer what they're thinking. What was that thing you guys underlined about the workshop or something?
That's when she began leading a 6-hour autism workshop for the Washington teachers. So that it's kind of helping like, the other teachers and everybody else help the mainstream process go a little smoother.
Okay, yep, absolutely. And if somebody didn't believe that this was a good idea, would they be leading a 6-hour workshop? No. So those are some good ideas, definitely, of how when you read, you can kind of see these different clues and come to a decision of how what the